The ability to gather information,
connecting the dots,
information with imagination,
and the accuracy of acumen, which means deeper insight. Finally, when you connect and imagine, what is that you have got as a knowledge?
That's what creates knowledge.
Knowledge.
Connecting the dots with imagination. And deeper insight. I remember as a child, they would tell you knowledge is different from intelligence, it's different from wisdom. And I always felt like, are we not talking about the same thing? Mm-hmm. Isn't it all information? Or it's not?
In computer terms, if you ask me, processed information is knowledge. Any information which becomes meaningful is knowledge.
Okay. I think that I am fully interested to see what the author has to say about knowledge. And let's see if he could answer my childhood questions.
Okay, very good.
So fluency with the confluence of the knowledge, with the influence of the imagination, with an accuracy of acumen.
So basically he's talking of three things. Fluency means skill with the confluence of the knowledge, means you are able to add different pieces of information together. With the influence of imagination, this is the second aspect. So one is ability to add different pieces of information, like connecting. Like many times we are giving examples of a mango tree, mango fruit, giving, humanity. So different pieces of information we are trying to connect. With the influence of imagination, because with imagination only you can connect different pieces of information. With an accuracy of acumen, which means you need to give deeper insights. So three things. What are the three things?
The ability to gather information.
No, connecting the dots.
With imagination.
Imagination
was the last one.
And the accuracy of acumen, which means deeper insight. Finally, when you connect and imagine, what is that you have got as a knowledge?
Oh, so it's like a recipe. That's what creates knowledge. So connecting the dots with imagination and deeper insight. Okay, we're giving a recipe. So it says, know what have you known? What you have known, then know that to be known. I feel like I should take that again. Know what have you known? What you have known, then know that to be known.
So know what have you known means whatever you know, try to reflect on it and develop a deeper understanding. So you may know some things, but you may not have given the right focus of it. If you reflect over it again and again,
you get deeper insights. I think that's where through connecting the dots and imagination.
Connecting the dots. Now imagine I may not have interest, or there is a baby who does not have interest in science. So ask him, okay, you have in your blood, why is the color of the blood red? And he'll say, okay, why is there in your hemoglobin, why there is iron? From where you got the iron? Then you'll say, okay, this iron, did you have in your planet Earth before? Then you'll say no. Then how the planet Earth got iron? Then you will find, okay, it is because of the formation and explosion of stars. Then you'll say how the stars formed? Okay, out of the gaseous matter which tried to solidify. And how the gaseous matter formed? Then you will say, okay, this gaseous formed out of, as per the Big Bang theory, out of a Big Bang, and then different forces formed. Galactic matter formed. So if you know this small thing, that the blood was flowing and iron you had, you will feel that every element in this planet Earth is from the universe. Intuitively, you will connect to the universe. From where the water was there in Earth? No. Then from where the water has come? Then they will go into how the hydrogen and oxygen fuse together. So once you go into the known, you will see that a beautiful world opens on its own.
Yeah.
And the baby will say, I may not have interest in science, but now I have a deeper interest in science. Because everything what I am able to see here is science.
Fantastic. They know that to be known.
They know that to be known. So what is required to be known also?
You should know it.
So what is required to be known?
Is that a question?
Yes. So one is the level to which science has given you. Know what have you known. You know this, but with the science you can know more.
Okay, let's take out science. I don't even know what subject matter to pick, but let's say any subject matter, food, marriage, whatever. How do you implement know what have you known? What you have known, they know that to be known.
So, okay, let's imagine.
Does everything go back to connecting the dots, imagination?
Yeah, 100%. Because imagine you want to marry. So, how you would marry? So, first know what have you known. Means, know yourself first. What is the person, what is the kind of person I am? What are my choices? What would be a friend for me look like? Then from a friend it may become boyfriend, lover, husband. What it would look like based on my constitution. So know what have you known. Then know that to be known. Means you have to know the other person also whom you are going to marry. But before that, first you have to know what you yourself are.
So having been with saints and the scientific sense is the meaning of science and the jhana of Vedanta.
So Vedanta is a Vedic concept which is in the Hindu scriptures, which does not talk of God. It does not talk of human. It talks of the universal consciousness, which is called as Brahma or Brahman. In English you can spell it as Brahman. It calls of universal consciousness, where the whole world is nothing but one. So they will say, who is me? So they will say the me is Brahma. Brahma means it is not a particular ego. Everything is part of the God. So that is the concept what he is saying. So what he is saying, what is the meaning of saint? A meaning of saint is that he has a realistic approach, a scientific view about the nature and things, how they connect, and he has a very strong sense of the divinity. So he has experience of divinity, not just talking by reading books.
Before we go deeper, we have a lot to cover with knowledge. It seems to me that he's talking about different aspects of knowledge, like different informations, and it's now left for us to connect the dots. Is that a task? It looks like we've been given a task to connect the dots with our imagination, because we've looked at different things. You know, we've looked at self-knowledge, connecting with people, and now we're looking at the universe as a whole. Okay, so reception of the precept is good. Activity in practice is to be needed.
I think this is straightforward, that first understand the concept. But understanding the concept is not enough. We have to implement in our life. So whatever, we are now learning. Now somebody asks you, okay, are you an expert? Do you have the knowledge? You should have very quickly, 3 things he is talking. Do I have the imagination? Can I connect the things? Do I have a deeper insight? These things, okay, I have knowledge of this. So this is what he's thinking. He's thinking not just understanding, but implement in your life. I can give you my example. When I was preparing for my chartered accountancy, I was finding some subjects as difficult and some as easy. So when I was difficult, I set a shorter scoring line for them. So I said, okay, this is I have to score 60 in this, or I can score maximum 50, but I cannot go below 50. But these are my prime strikers. They will strike 80, 90. So when we are striking properly, the overall score will go up. So who is my prime striker? The one in which I am quite sure I have to score good, and I also feel I have good. So I am using football and its strategy to appear for exams, which is very different science. And this is exactly in practicality it is happening. So let's say there is a car racing exercise. You have Formula 1. So the tire that is changed in Formula 1, they have derived that science from rocket. So the rockets that they send to moon, from there they have got the science to change tires in a Formula race. you will see there is no connection. Similarly, mobile technology which has come is from space technology, or from a military technology. You have got Indomie kind of thing, because they used to go in world wars, they couldn't carry food, so they derived some kind of packed food which can be cooked and give you instant energy. And you know, now the wars are not so much. Now it has recently started though in many countries. But Indomie has been there even when wars are not there, and they are big hit in economies. Indomie, Maggi, 2-minute noodles. In almost every part of the world you will find it.
The opacity occupies the surface of the globe, as well as the capacity of the human science and its caprice. As the intelligence has been capricing, but the completion of the project victoriously and notoriously is welcomed.
So this he is talking of a VUCA world.
The what?
VUCA world.
What is a VUCA world?
VUCA world means uncertain. World is uncertain. World is volatile. So there we understand world as anything can happen in a sudden instance. It is highly volatile. Suddenly wars sprung up. Unpredictable. So what he says is opacity occupies the surface of the globe. Opacity means lack of transparency. It is opaque. You don't know why the other country is behaving this way. You don't know why a politician behaves this way, while the interest of the people is very different from it. So in many parts of the transactions in this world, there is opacity, non-clarity, why these things happen. Some countries taking their interest, some countries are not doing in their own interest. So this is one part, as well as the capacity of the human science and its caprice. So what he is saying, on one part
is unpredictable.
On the other part, it is whimsical. Human behavior as such is whimsical. Whimsical means you cannot equate a human behavior with any of the behavior with other species. Let's say there is a family of dogs. They are very loyal to the crowd. But human is one of the species which attack other humans also. So there is a whimsical or unpredictableness in human race also. They do not favor their race all the time. They try to differentiate. They were, oh, you are different, and they wage wars against each other.
And I thought that it meant the world is unpredictable, but we have the capacity for it. I thought that's what it meant.
So what he is saying, the world is opaque, as well as there is unpredictability or whimsical tendencies of the human race. And this, what he says is, human science is also this way. So there are nuclear explosions, but the same nuclear explosion produces green energy also. So there are always two sides. There is a knife to cut the vegetable, there is a knife to kill also. So this is a whimsical kind of human tendency to innovate in a destructive and constructive way also. As the intelligence has been capricizing. So the intelligence of the human is like that. It has a negative intelligence also, it has a positive intelligence also. The rocket that is used to fuel the moon and go to Mars is the same rocket which is used in wars to carry warheads, in nuclear warheads. And if all the bombs explode, you can actually explode the earth maybe 68 times, 100 times. So why you created those bombs? To kill yourself, to finish the whole world. So this is the whimsical part he is talking. But he uses the word but, consummation, which is completion of the project, victoriously and notoriously is welcome. What he is saying is, there is opaqueness already and human intelligence is whimsical. Still, if you can complete any project victoriously and notoriously, why he says notoriously, is means you are using your intellect to achieve the target. That is a welcome sign. So what he says is, you know the world is opaque, you know there is a whimsical intelligence in every being. Still, taking a team together and achieving an objective is welcome.
Okay, he says the recluse should seclude the right and wrong, either and follow the path of truth.
So the recluse is the person who is living alone in seclusion, and he should not be into the sides of right matter and wrong matter. Because right and wrong can be a matter of perception. For some country you may say, okay, this is the right, and either other may say, oh no, this is not the right, this is the right. So right and wrong, it always depends on the sides. And follow the path of truth. So what is the path of truth is, what is the right way to go about things. So this is what the recluse should think about. Then live long with no longing, along with no prolonged pride. So this is very important, that if you want to live long, you should be away from the aspect of longing. What do you mean by longing? Longing means being a waiter. What do you mean by waiter? A waiter is a person, he is sitting in the traffic. Oh, when it will clear? When it will clear? Checking. Oh, when it will clear? Every 5 minutes. And 45 minutes he is in jam only. But he is checking every 5 minutes. What is this? Longing to clear. Oh, when I will get a promotion? Every day he is coming. Why I am not getting a promotion? Every day. The same longing. So we are draining our energies in longing. Am I going to marry quickly tomorrow? Am I ready? Okay, longing.
And then he says, live long with no longing, along with no prolonged pride.
So no longing means live in present. You are today. You be there in the traffic, follow the rules. Don't check every 5 minutes. Promotion. Work sincerely towards. Automatically promotion will follow. Marriage. What will happen? You prepare religiously, lovingly in the course of activities. Anyway you will. It's not a new thing which will happen to you. Everyone marries at then.
If they want to.
Correct? Along with no prolonged pride. So this is another thing is, pride spoils the game of life. Pride means I am different, I am big, I am beautiful, I am the best. So don't go into this kind of thing. Keep your pride in check and focus on the excellence, on doing every activity with excel. Engage in activity, engage in discussion with a lot of awareness.
Converse within the conversant limits of the knowledge.
So, these all things what he is writing is, on one side, excellence in knowledge, the 3 aspects. Then, how to be victorious in projects. This is also part of knowledge. So, everything we have to understand from a knowledge. If you are knowledgeable, you should not have pride. If you are knowledgeable, you should not have longing. Are you connecting why it is under the heading of knowledge?
Yes, that's why I said different
aspects. So when we say he's a knowledgeable fellow, you should come in your mind quickly. Okay, are these things matching? If he is having a big pride, but he's a big scientist, you have to say, knowledge is still to come. Even though he thinks and the world thinks he is knowledgeable. Are you getting? These are the primary factors. So converse with the conversant limits of the knowledge. So what he's saying is, what you know, delve deep into it. And within those limits, you explore further. So when you explore further, it will attract further knowledge and enrich you. That is how expertise is built. You keep going deeper, deeper, deeper in your conversant limits. And finally, you become an expert.
Okay. Merely hearing and staring are not enough.
So this is very true. Like imagine if one reads this book and he says, okay, I understand now. After that, forget about it. Merely hearing and staring is not enough. Coming nearly and dearly to the concept and precept is apt. Love the concept, generate an interest. This is one of the core philosophy of master. So this is for the students I am speaking. So imagine you have a fear for a particular subject or you don't like a subject. What you will do first? Tell me.
You're not interested.
Yes, you are not interested, but you have to do. Because you cannot pass 8th standard if you don't do a subject which you don't like. Imagine you don't like geography. But if you fail, you are not passing 8th standard.
Then you have to develop an interest.
So this is the core concept of master is, don't touch the book just like that. Develop an interest first. Why the government has given geography as a subject? What is the importance of geography for a human being? And you will go into a new universe of geography. Now, because I found geography difficult in my young age. That's why I'm giving you this example. I understand geography and I am in a deep love with geography. But at this age, when I have nothing to do with geography. Geography has a very close connection with geopolitics. Geography has a very close connection with geostrategy, military strategy, politics, political behavior between countries, currency exchange. You can do anything. You can't change your neighbor. Like Niger is our neighbor here. You can't change. You have to live with it. And you have a high sea. So you will have naval strategy, geostrategy along with it. So geography, we used to think why we need to know this river flows from here to here. And geography will give you the insight of how the country has come to this point.
So with every subject matter, you have to have an interest at least.
Interest at least. But if you don't have that least interest, then what you will do?
You're disconnected.
Bring the interest first.
Okay.
Then you study. This is, I am giving you a master key. So for all students who don't like the subject, who are fearful, first ask yourself why this is a subject I need to study. If you are not convinced, go and ask your parents, teachers, why I need to study. Once you develop an interest for it, then you study.
And I think he gives a key in the next line, which says, bearing in mind and daring in practice is welcome.
Correct. So any concept, scientific fact, any piece of knowledge which is theoretical is of no value. You have to understand the practical part of it, why it is in my course. So bear in mind and daring in practice. Why he says daring in practice? Why doesn't he say simply practice? Because any concept when you try to implement, there will be a friction. There will be a difficulty. There will be an endurance required. Only then you will test the philosophy. So what he is saying, keep patience and hit hard.
I think we would take a break and, when we come back, we would continue and take the remaining part of knowledge.
So I think we need to recognize the hard efforts and all of our team members. Anna. So yourself, you are there. Mr. Amy, Emmanuel is there. Mr. Frank, Mr. Tony, Ms. Rachel, who are really extending their Sundays.
And blessing.
And blessing is there. Who are really extending their Sundays for this cause of humanity. But one thing is there, the purpose of this effort is very clear. The purpose is that we need people who are interested in elevation of their own lives. If you yourself are not interested in elevating your life, if you are satisfied, imagine you are working in your work area and you feel, I am fine, then this is not the session for you. But if you are interested to elevate your life from a material dimension for a spiritual dimension, then of course you will have a lot of questions. And for a questioning mind, we are available to answer all the questions. So when, many times Madam Rosemary says, ask questions. It's for only those who are interested in their own self-elevation. So if you don't have interest, first get an interest that I want to be somebody, and let us apply these divine formulas for self-elevation. And we are there to support you in your own life journey.
For now, do not forget to engage, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let's hear your views. Let's get your feedbacks on the show. Thank you.